Back up a little?
Huh?
You want to back up a little?
Yeah, maybe I should. Just for grins.
I wouldn't take it.
Yep. I guess I should have driven it around a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. Those servos, man, they just keep making noises.
That's how my UMX is.
Yeah.
Just constantly chattering.
All right, EFlite F14 Maiden. Here we go.
AS3X mode.
Like needs just a little bit of up. Whoa, whoa. Not that much up. And it's pulling a little bit to the left. Let's get back over here. Okay, man, you get far out there, it's easy to lose orientation.
Yep. I could never take my eyes off that one.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like he's maybe a little bit more up. Still diving a little bit though. Well, let's practice some landings here. Ooh, he's a glider. Not dropping much.
Yeah, you hate to take it too far out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see.
Yep. Oh. Well, maybe that was one of the wheels that popped off.
Well, I see
Nope.
3 of them on there.
Yeah, something else.
On your core line.
Oh, yeah. Just a wing. That was a leaf that got it.
Oh, it was a leaf, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that little wheel does not like this.
Nope. Yeah, they popped one off there too. Well, yeah, not too bad. It just got this one though.
Oh, did it pop it?
Yeah. But all you do is pull that cover off and you put it back in place.
Right.
And that's it. That's not too bad for
You got it flew pretty good, actually.
first F14 crash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, that'll work. Now let's see what the battery is here. Okay, we had the timer at 3:30 and we got 4 seconds over. And let's see here. Uh, 2200. Ooh, 27% left, so 3.5's about it. That was about 75-80% throttle most of the time. Okay, so maybe just to give you a little more information on the new EFlite F14. So first is the size. I mean, this thing is it's really pretty small, right? Got the, this one's the FMS F15, but it's exactly the same thing as the EFlite F15, which many flyers do have. So you can see that it's quite a bit smaller than even that one. So kind of give you some idea here of how big this thing is or how small it is. So it is pretty small, okay? Just so you have some idea. But it is pretty well built, you know, for the things that, you know, a lot of the flyers tend to mess up. Like for example, the nose on any aircraft is usually the first thing to get it, okay? And in this case, they've got a plastic cone here on the nose, okay? The inlets here are plastic, okay? This cover here is plastic, okay? So you've got that as plastic. The other thing I'll show you is, if I can get this off, pop this off. Let me just show you this versus this one, right? So I don't know, many of you hopefully have flown this F15, right? And one of the first things that breaks on this F15 is right here. This thing will break right down here, okay? It's pretty flimsy and it's just foam. There's not much there, okay? Well, if you look over here, what they've done is they've put carbon rods on the sides, and then if you look down, let me see if I can get a good picture of it, you can see right down here, I'll get my pen here, show you, that they've actually put carbon fiber rods on the bottom as well. So you can see right down here, you can see rods, you can see a rod here, and then over on this side, let's see if you can get the angle, there's a rod down here, and then there's also another one up at the top, right? So, you know, they really strengthen this part of the fuselage where it typically breaks, because most of the time it goes in, okay? The other thing that they've done, and you see this in the manual, I'm not gonna take the top off, but basically this wing is hinged right here, and then there's a connection point where the push rod moves the wing in and out. That connection rod is just a snap, okay? It's not securely mounted there, and it's meant that way by design. So if the video you just saw when I came in and I flipped it, basically both of these wings snapped out of that little snap push rod and didn't damage the wings at all. All I had to do is take this cover off, push that little, the push rod snap onto the wing bracket, and it's good to go again, okay? While I'm here, I don't know if you can see the shiny part. This is what I do to all my wings. I picked this up from a tip from some guy on YouTube. Basically, if you ding your wing, it'll help prevent it from actually getting bruised, if you will. Okay, so do that on all mine. All right, so let's flip him over. And first thing you'll notice is this gear is very small, right? You know, I tried to land it in grass as soft as I could. And this thing actually bent back, okay, in the landing you just saw, okay. It got bent back, but you know, it's pretty easy to bend. And if I want to keep landing in grass and this thing is too much trouble, I'll just take these off, take the gear off and fly it without it, okay. The next bit is, let's take a look over here. This is the hatch for the servos, okay, and the receiver. See if I can get this guy to stand upright. There we go. Oh, look at that. Huh. Okay, so there's something I've got to glue. I didn't check that one. I've got to glue that back on. Okay, glad I turned it over. All right, so basically these are the two servos here, okay? And there's a, it's really hard. Let me see if I can zoom in here and see if you can get you a good view of that. But those push rods go into this little plastic lever here, okay? And then there's a metal rod that goes all the way out to the aileron, I guess is what it is, okay? Let me zoom back out, okay? And that's what moves it. And if you have to adjust, you have to snap these off, twist these black things in or out, and you can adjust the thing, the distance, okay? Okay, some other points to note here is that on these, I think they're called straights, I'm not sure, but these are plastic, okay? You can see that they're plastic here, okay? You've got the plastic here, and then here, in addition to the nose cone, you got plastic on this piece. So if you do take the gear off and you're landing in grass, you know, most of the key points are plastic, so hopefully you don't get too much scuffing or paint removed when you're landing in grass, okay? The other points, let's see here, let's do this. Let's see if I can show you where I had to put, you know, what I found out with the ailerons here. So, am I gonna be able to see this? Let me zoom in here a little bit. So you can see right here, this is the aileron here, okay? And what I did was, after I flew it and I had my trim done, I brought it back in and basically just marked where the tips were at of the two ailerons, right? So in the book, it calls for 6 millimeters above this seam here. If I can get the pen in there just right, somewhere in here, right? There's the seam. It calls for 6 millimeters, and I didn't change anything on the aircraft before I went and flew it, okay? But then after, those dots are about 3 to 4 millimeters above the seam line. So because it was diving on me when I went and did the trim, this is where the leading edge, the point of the leading edge ended up being. So anyway, just for reference, that's what I ended up doing, was changing them to about 3 to 4 millimeters instead of being 6 millimeters away, okay? And I guess the last thing is on the battery here. So on the battery, basically it already comes with Velcro, okay? One thing I did do here is I have a bunch of batteries that are, I think there's XD60s, yes, XD60s, okay? My 4S 2200s are XD60s for other models. So I just went online and got one of these converters that's from I think it's an IC3 to an XD60 converter. And I just leave that attached. Excuse me, and I can use my own batteries. Okay, the battery goes right there, got the Velcro. but it goes, in my case, I pushed that 2200 4S all the way to the back, and the weight of that battery was just a bit less than the weight of the Spectrum 2200 30C, so it was pretty close. So anyways, all the way back, and I still had to add some up trim to it. So that's a quick overview of the F14. Hope you found it useful, and thank you for watching.